Hello and welcome, my dear students. So this is revision question of our chapter assessment of firm. So as you can see in this question, we have Shri Ram and Raghuram are working partner in a professional firm which satisfy all conditions of section 184 and 40B of IT Act. They share profit and loss in the ratio 4:1 and their profit and loss account for the year ending 31st March 2017 given as follows. So as you can see in this question, we have uh, debit side all expenses of the firm and credit side gross profit. It is given 5,85,000, and out of this general expenses which are generally allowed, interest on capital of partner. So this interest on capital of partner may be more than 12% of capital or less than 12% of capital. So what you are assuming, you will have to put note at the end of question. Donation to National Defence Fund 25,000, salary bonus 2,85,000, which will be disallowed at first, and after that you will have to calculate salary according to 40B, and whichever is less, actual or 40B, you will have to consider. Depreciation 30,000, net profit 1,02,000. So this is P&L given by the firm. Now we have few other information. According to these, general expenses to the extent of rupees 85,500, 18,500 is not deductible. So general expenses, out of general expenses 18,500 are not allowed. Interest on capital is in excess of rupees 15,000. So it is clearly given that interest on capital is in excess of rupees 15,000. So 15,000 will be disallowed. And depreciation as per IT rule works out of 32,500. So according to the IT, depreciation should be 32,500, but it is 30,000. So we will adjust it. Compute the permissible amount of remuneration to the partner. So you will have to calculate remuneration amount to the partner according to section 40B, and we will solve the question completely. Now first of all, the first step, calculation of book profit. So book profit you can calculate with the help of some adjustment in the profit given. So the profit which is given, it is 1,02,000. In this 1,02,000 we will add all disallowed expenses, which are called inadmissible expenses. Number one, general expenses. So general expenses were rupees 68,500. Out of this 18,500 are disallowed, and interest on capital was rupees 75,000, and it is clearly given that interest on capital is in excess of rupees 15,000. So whatever excess, it is disallowed. So 15,000 is disallowed. Donation to National Defence Fund. So donation to National Defence Fund is not expense of business. It's a charity work and it's a moral duty of any firm. It's not business expenses. It is disallowed. Remuneration to the partner. So at first we will disallow all amount of partners remuneration, because we have to calculate remuneration according to their section 40B. So total amount is 3,43,500. We will add this amount with net profit which is given in P&L. Now the total is 4,45,500. Out of this we will have to deduct allowable depreciation. It is 2,500 more because 30,000 is already deducted, and depreciation allowed by the IT is 32,500. So balance at 22,500 we are adjusting. So this is book profit 4,43,000. So as you can see, dear student, this amount of book profit is more than 3 lakh. So we will have to apply section 40B with both adjustment. The first adjustment is first 3 lakh of book profit at or 90%. First 3 lakh of book profit. So we will take it 90% of BP or 1,50,000, whichever is less, whichever is higher. So as you can see, 90% of book profit is higher, so 2,75,000, and balance book profit is 1,43,000. So you will have to consider it 60%. So 60% of 1,43,000 is 85,800. Okay. So total total allowed remuneration according to 40B is 3,55,800, and which you have to consider actual remuneration which is given P&L or remuneration by 40B, whichever is less. So actual is 2,85,000, but according to 40B it is 3,55,800. So as you can see, actual remuneration is less, so we will deduct the actual figure out of book profit. So this is your net income of business, 1,58,000. So the answer is remuneration allowable to the partner is 2,85,000, which was asked at the beginning of question. So dear student, as you can see how we use the section 40B. So this is the job of 40B, that 40B gives us allowed remuneration to the partners. Now let's talk about another question of the chapter. This is about Priyanka and Shruti, who are working partner in a professional firm sharing profit and loss equally. So they are equal partners. Okay. While in first question the partners were in the ratio of 4:1. So 4:1 is the partners ratio. So if we talk about the income of partners separately, separate income of each partner, so you will have to consider partner wise that this remuneration is for both partners. So in this question we cannot calculate the separate income of partners. Why? Because salary and bonus are given combinedly, and profit sharing by the firm is exempted under section 10(2)(a). So in this question it is not possible to calculate separate income of each partner. Now let's go for the second question. Priyanka and Shruti are working partner, both are working partner, okay, in a professional firm, and their profit sharing ratio are equal. The partnership deed has authorized the firm to pay interest to partner on their capital at 20%. So according to deed they are getting interest on capital at 20%. The firm is considered as eligible firm as it is satisfy all the requirement of section 140, 184 and 40B. So dear student, requirement of section 184 is in our first PDF, which is already on your Moodle account of this chapter. So please go through the section 184 requirement. From the following information, calculate book profit, admissible remuneration to partner, total income and tax liability of the firm for the assessment year 17-18. So for these are the requirement in this question: admissible remuneration to the partner, total income and tax liability of the firm. Okay. So we will have to solve this question step by step. So as you can see, the P&L account of the firm is given. So first of all you will have to calculate book profit of the firm. So according to their P&L account, we have other expenses 1,25,500, which are generally allowed. Interest on capital, which is given at 20%. So as you know, according to the IT Act, 12%, more than 12% interest is disallowed. Okay. Salary, bonus and other partners remuneration are given. It is 10 lakh rupees. Net profit 2,50,000. On the other side of the P&L account, interest from customer, interest on debenture gross. So dear student, this is interest from customer and interest from debenture. So interest from debenture is not part of income from business. This is part of income from other sources. Now how will you deal with interest from customer? Let's see. So this is your P&L account, and do we have any adjustment? Yes, we have. The firm is eligible for 100% deduction under section 80 IB as the firm is engaged in the development of SAES. So section 80 IB is stand for the development of SAES. SAES stand for Special Economic Zone. So if firm is working in a SAES area, so the firm is eligible to get 100% deduction under section 80 IB. So So dear student, this is a kind of OT question we have. What is the meaning of SAGE and what is the ATIB stand for, and what percentage of deduction is allowable, and depreciation allowable as per IT rule works out 35,500, and they are showing depreciation nil. So depreciation is the expense which they are showing, which they are not showing in their P&L account, while depreciation is allowed according to IT is 35,500. So we will have to deduct depreciation accordingly. Other expenses to the extent of rupees 62,500 is not deductible. Other expenses to the extent of rupees 62,500 is not deductible. So dear student, other expenses are rupees 1,25,500. Out of this, 62,500 is not deductible. Okay, so these are expenses which are disallowed. Now let's check the solution of the question with step by step. Calculation of total income of the firm for the assessment year 17-18. So net profit is given 2,50,000. Add all disallowed or inadmissible expenses. So all disallowed expenses, the first one is other expenses, which is disallowed up to rupees to the extent of rupees 62,500. Okay, and as you can see, interest on capital in excess of 12%. Priyanka and Shruti 16,000 and 24,000. So how this amount come? Let's check what was the original amount in P&L account. So interest on capital for Priyanka it was 40,000. For Shruti it is 16,000. So these interest on capital are according to 20% on their capital. So in this question, but capital is not given. So how will you calculate what is the excess amount of interest? So my dear student, we will apply a shortcut to get what amount of interest on capital is disallowed. For this purpose, you will have to apply a formula that interest on capital given on P&L multiplied by difference between rate upon percentage of rate apply. So as you can see, in case of Priyanka, the interest on capital in P&L is given 40,000 multiplied by difference between rate. So difference between rate means rate of interest on capital given in partnership deed and rate of interest on capital according to IT. So in this question, rate of interest on capital according to deed is given 20%, and according to IT rule, the rate of interest on capital is 12% divided by interest rate given in the question, it is 20%. So 40,000 multiplied by 20 minus 12 divided by 20. So after solving this equation, you will get 16,000, which is disallowed in case of Priyanka, and same formula we will apply in case of Shruti. The equation would be 60,000 multiplied by 20 minus 12 divided by 20. By this way, you will get your disallowed amount of interest in case of Shruti, 24,000. Okay, and after that, all amount of remuneration will be disallowed. So total amount which are disallowed is 11,02,500, and the now total is 13,52,500. And after that, you will have to adjust the depreciation which is allowed but not deducted by the company, and one more income which is not concerned with the business of firm. It is interest on debenture. This is income from other sources. So we will add both these things. So 6,85,000 and book profit is 6,67,000. So dear student, as we have 6,67,000 book profit in this question, so according to section 40B, what would be our allowed remuneration? So same 2 points again we will have to apply here. The first 3 lakh of book profit, in this case 1,50,000 or 90% of book profit, whichever is more. So it is very simple to understand. 2,70,000, it is 90% of 3 lakh is more than 150, so we will consider 2,70,000. And the second line was balance of book profit. In that case we will consider 60% of that balance. So our total book profit is 3,67,000. Out of this 3 lakh is adjusted. The remaining 3,67,000 we will take it 60%. Okay. So here we have 2,75,000 and 60% of 3,67,000 is 2,20,200. The total amount of remuneration according to 40B is 4,90,200. But actual is 10 lakh. So whichever is less we will consider. Okay. So it is 4,90,200 is less than 10 lakh. So only this amount of remuneration will be allowed according to IT. So this is the answer of income from business, 1,76,800. So my dear student, this is another question which reflects another side of 40B when your book profit is more than 3 lakh at the higher side. Okay. So how will you get the allowed amount of interest, remuneration, which is according to 40B. Now, so this is income from business. Now we have income from other source. This is interest on debenture. It is 6,50,000. So this is called GTI of the firm, 8,26,800. Now there is a deduction of rupees. Deduction under section 80IB, it is 1,76,800. Okay. So according to the 80IB, your firm is working in a sales area. So 1,76,800 will be, which is income from business, will be 100% exempted. There will be no tax at all. So your total income is 6,50,000. So your income from business is totally exempted according to section 80IB. Now, so on this 6,50,000 you will have to pay tax at 30% flat rate. So dear student, first of all you will have to calculate AMT also, because AMT stands for alternative minimum tax. So alternative minimum tax means it is the amount which is prescribed by the government at 18.5% on your book profit. So on your book profit, so on that amount you will have to pay tax or normal tax liability, whichever is more. Okay. So let's check. So calculation of adjusted profit for AMT. Total income is 6,50,000. Add deduction. So in case of calculation of AMT, there will be no deduction apply. So total income is 8,26,800. On this amount, we will calculate tax at normal rate, which is 30%. It is 1,95,800, and 3% education says 2,850. Now in case of AMT, we will take only 18.5% of adjusted profit. So this is our adjusted profit, 1,52,958. Now let me check how it comes. I think there is some mistake in this solution of the question, and because in case of AMT, we are bound to calculate 18.5% of book profit, not adjusted profit. So I think it's adjusted profit is a book profit. So 6 lakh book profit is in this question, book profit is 6,67,000. So you have to consider 18.5% of 6,67,000. Then you will get 1,52,958, and education says 3%. So as you can see, AMT is less than normal rate. So your tax liability would be normal according to the normal rate of taxation. So amount of tax payable by the company is 2,850. Okay. So my dear student, this is our second revision question. in this chapter, and which is about the calculation of tax of the firm as per AMT or as per normal rate of taxation. Now let's check the next topic of this chapter, which is related with the association of the person. So dear student, association of the person, the tax liability of the association of the person is same as individual. Now let's read a paragraph about it, which is given in our PDF format. So according to this format, we have association of person. Association of person means a group of person who comes together to do some work to attain common objective. Okay, when the objective has been attended, they dissolve the share of a member in an income or loss of AOP shall be apportioned under various head. If AOP has incurred loss, then it is not entitled to set it off against his personal income. If the share of the member are unknown, tax shall be charged on the total income at maximum marginal rate, and the share of member shall not be included in the total income. So these are few simple adjustment in case of association of person, which can be understood with help of a simple example which is given. So this is the example about computation of tax of AOP. Compute the tax payable by AOP for the assessment year 1780. If Srimati Anandi, a member, is liable to pay tax on her income, following is the list of income. Income from house property 40,000, winning from Karnataka State Lottery 50,000, income from long term capital gain 25,000. Okay. Now let's check the computation of tax liability of AOP. Income from house property, winning from lottery, income from LTCG, all things we considered. So GTI is 1,15,000. Now with the simple procedure of tax calculation, we can calculate the tax. First of all, we have to take 20% of LTCG. So 20% of 25,000, because long term capital gain is 25,000, so it is 5,000. And tax on lottery, this is our casual income, so we will take 30% of it, and remaining 40,000 is our other income. 40,000 is our other income. So on this 40,000 we will calculate 30% tax for AOP. So according to our tax, total tax is 32,000. 3% education cess 960. So total tax liability is this. Less TDS. So because winning is given here and we are calculating tax on this, so we will have to deduct TDS in case of lottery. So 15,000 is your TDS. So total amount of tax payable 17,960. So this is the simple procedure for the calculation of tax in case of AOP, and the same kind of question we have given, which is next. And this question is very simple. Another question we have: the AOP who furnish the following incomes are given: long term capital gain 12,000, income from house property 1,81,000, tax on LTCG is 20% on 12,000, tax on income from house property up to 2 lakh, it is fully exempted. Okay, so in case of AOP, it is up to 2 lakh, it is fully exempted, so it is only 2,400. Education says 3%. So total tax liability is 2,0472. So dear student, these are questions from AOP and income from assessment of firms. So I hope you will try to understand all the problems of assessment of firm and assessment of AOP. If you got any doubt or any problem, we can discuss more on this topic on our virtual classes, or you can call me, so I can discuss with you one by one on the topic on which you have some doubt. Okay, so I am uploading the PDF of this presentation on your Moodle also, where you can access to get better understanding of the chapter. Okay, I hope you will go through all the slides and try to understand all the problems and all the provisions of this chapter. Till then, stay home, stay healthy. Thank you very much.